What up, Depth Chart? It's your boy, young broadcaster Jared Young, here on the set of the 2 Point Perspective with my co-host Miles on the mic, Miles Sweeney, for episode 51. And today's episode is quite literally brought to you by Mrs. Young broadcaster Marla on the mic, as she's going to be helping us out today because the John Father is out. So yeah, he's not able to join us today. He had a prior engagement that he was gonna have to take care of, and Miles and I didn't plan super well for it. We were kind of hoping that he was gonna be able to be here, but that is okay. We will persevere without him. But today is gonna be Marlita behind the camera.
Yes,
Marla, why don't you say hello to everybody?
Hi.
There she is.
Yeah, we just did a little crash course right before we started recording about how all of the equipment works. So she's going to do her best today, and no matter what happens, it's still going to be a great show. So
yeah, the show goes on, and I think today I'm just going to be Miles because she is going to hold the on the mic title today.
She's going to be Marla on the mic.
Yes, and today I'm just Miles because she's doing
to not be on the mic since I immediately screwed up already. So.
No. How are you feeling so far? How are you feeling about the being behind the camera and running all the equipment today?
I'm here. That's all I could say.
Don't be nervous, dear fiance. But we are going to jump right into the show. And it is time for the dual threat bet. So last week there was a horrible mix-up. Something went horribly wrong, and somehow Miles won the dual threat bet.
I did.
Curtis Rourke got pulled out of the game at 100 passing yards, which is bullshit in my head.
You needed 110.
I needed 110 and a half to win the bet. So yeah, something went horribly wrong. It's okay. We'll be back on track next week. I'm not sure. See. Yeah, Kyle Shanahan didn't get my letter. I don't know what happened.
Oh, he got mine. He got my letter.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Miles.
That's premium shipping. No, he did me a huge favor.
I should have expedited. My bad. Did you throw a couple dollars in there too?
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Cheater. I know this guy.
You gotta do what you gotta do at this point. I'm not hobby horsing, so.
Oh, I don't know, Miles. You got the legs for it. You're Gazelle.
It doesn't matter.
I've told you this.
I don't want to do
Gazelle,
it.
Miles. But we are going to talk about the game this week. So this week we chose the Seahawks and the Titans, 5 p.m. Sunday the 23rd. So this upcoming Sunday
on Fox. You guys, most of you guys can watch it. It's not on NFL Network Unlimited Premium.
Well, we tried to pick like a random game, but it was on. It was like basically a blackout game, and so we weren't going to be able to watch it. You guys probably weren't going to be able to watch it, and so we wanted to make sure that we were picking a game that everyone was going to be able to see, and so everyone knows that Miles lost this week.
That's
Miles,
modest.
As always, we're going to call it in the air.
Yes.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah. Tails. It is heads.
It is tails.
Oh, yikes. We all know whenever I pull, it's just bad news bears.
I know. I need you to pull more often, actually.
I pulled you.
Oh.
I'm feeling a little dangerous right now because I know Marla's in here.
You're really risking a lot.
Okay, I got Cardinal Tate plus 1 touchdown.
Okay. All right.
And I think it...
That's fine.
We've heard about
ACL in the first quarter.
Maybe we've heard about Robert Saleh saying that he wants the starters to play at least. Like I think I saw 25, 30 snaps, 2 drives, whatever that looks like. But it better look like a Cardinal Tate touchdown because
Tony Pollard is getting every single carry.
No, that dude's old and brittle. And brittle.
Tony Pollard, Tajay Spears. It's gonna be running mania over there in Tennessee.
Give it to the new kid, Brian Dable. You know what to do. But. Yeah, I don't mind that one. We had some decent ones in there this week, too.
Yeah, we had some good ones. But moving on from the dual threat bet, it's time to talk about the roster shakeup. So lots and lots of stuff to talk about this week. We even had a couple more come in today. And Miles, if you don't mind, I'm actually going to pull one of those up because I forgot to grab it before. I was trying to get the show up and running, and let me see.
You were a little lost in the sauce.
Yeah. I swear I have the notification here. Right here. So Texans wide receiver Jaden Higgins suffers a torn ACL on Tuesday during joint practice.
Wow,
oh, man. Big bummer. It also looks like the Chargers center who we have on here, I think.
Yeah, Tyler Biotish.
Yeah, so there's actually an update on that as well. So
Okay.
but we can, if you want to
save it for that, I think.
yeah, we can save it for that for sure.
Yeah.
So first, I just wanted to get that one off
Mhm.
out of the way because I wasn't able to get it on our list before last night.
Mhm.
But to start off, we got Keenan Allen signed a 1-year, $8.32 million deal with the Colts. Miles, what do you think?
From a fantasy perspective, me no likey, because it was all Alec Pierce up until that point. Now, I don't think like Keenan Allen isn't what he used to be.
Right.
So I think it would be a little naive to think he's going to come over and take over the X spot. But I mean,
he's not going.
No, he's not. I mean, he's just going to be a really good safety blanket for whoever's going to be playing quarterback back there, which is what you want, of course, And so I think that that's a good modest deal to bolster that wide receiver room after you just departed from Michael Pittman. And then obviously you extend Alec Pierce. Donnie Mitchell's not there anymore. So I think that's a good signing for the Colts for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. And, Keenan Allen was a guy who was very reliable last season for the Chargers. I talked him up a lot last season. I tried to trade him to you a couple different times, but
You did.
couldn't get Miles on the hook.
Well, wasn't he the Derrick Henry trade a part of that?
He might have been.
And then you voted against that trade.
Well,
you voted against your own trade.
CeeDee Lamb messed up his ankle or something, right? He was out for like 6 weeks.
Oh, pish posh. It was
Pish
fine.
posh, yeah.
I still went undefeated when he was gone.
Just the gem of the entire trade.
Yeah. Well, I still went undefeated without him, so I think he would have been fine.
Yeah. Well, Miles also had the least points against all season long.
That is true.
We don't have but we don't have to get into those details.
Yeah.
All right. Next on our list, Miles, who you got?
Speaking of undefeated, Jeremiah Love,
Out for the season.
high ankle sprain, just a little boo-boo.
Out for the season, fractured ankle.
Little boo-boo. And he's going to be fine. I don't understand why everyone's freaking out about this, because even
Obviously,
if he misses
Miles
week
is
one,
not freaking out. He's clearly not freaking out.
You know what? Love is in the air. And
This is called denial, folks.
even if he misses week one, it's fine. They got Algier, But yeah, he did suffer a high ankle sprain, and it's been kind of like a lot of the buzz around that injury is, why was he still in the game? He had 14 total touches up until that point. And you know what's funny? He got injured on a hip drop tackle. So that's a new rule that's been in the league for 2 years. I've never seen it get called live, but I digress. But I think he's going to be fine,
Yeah.
And do you want to?
I think he's going to come back next season, and he's going to be great.
Do you want to speak on the evil thing you tried to do to me last night?
I was going to bring it
up.
Yeah. So I don't like to use AI for art, but I have been teasing Miles for the last couple of days about Jeremiah Love, and so I had ChatGPT cook something up for me last night where I found the article of Jeremiah Love and his high ankle sprain, and I had it change almost all, it was pretty good, I thought. I thought it was pretty good. Change all the wording to say that he fractured his ankle and he was going to be out for the season.
Yeah.
And I almost got away with it, except for one part at the bottom.
The very last
sentence screwed me, where it was the Cardinals playing the Broncos, which is not accurate. And I missed that somehow. And Miles picked that out right out of the bottom. But how did you, I have to know, how did you feel when I initially sent that to you? Because I thought it was pretty convincing. Like, it was NFL Network's post and everything. It had today's date, or had yesterday's date on it.
Right.
It had like
the update date too.
Date.
You fuck with me a lot. So my first thought was like, there's no way this is true. And I really didn't even read the article. I read the headline and I was like, no. And then Bryce actually in the chat too was like, what did he send? He was like, oh, I'm so sorry, Miles, or something. And I was like, what? And I was like, is this true? So I was scrolling through Instagram, checking all the Cardinal pages I follow to see if they posted it. Nothing was there.
Made your heart drop just a little bit.
Yeah, and I was at work with Ryan, and he was like, just kind of not teasing me, but
what did he say? Ball sack sports.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And so and then I looked at, because at that point I knew it was fake, and I decided to read it, And yeah, I saw the last part. And then you tried sending it to me individually, and you're like, I promise this is real.
I was just teasing you.
And yeah, at that point I already knew, and I was like, oh yes, that 20-17 loss to the Broncos.
Dang it, man! I was this close.
Yeah,
it was this close.
But it did look like convincing.
Yeah,
I had you.
I had you there for a second.
For like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
but yeah, so it was evil of Jared. But you know what? We persevere because we all love Jeremiah Love, and he's going to persevere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, Jared, who do you have next on your list?
Not Jeremiah Love, but another running back. Najee Harris signs a 1-year deal with the Giants. We don't have the details of that deal. I assume it's a vet min.
It's pretty seems insignificant.
Yeah, he's coming off a pretty bad injury, and we'll see if he'll be even the same. I mean, that's already going to be a crowded running back room. They've got Tyrone Tracy and Cam Scatterbo, and those guys are going to be taking the brunt of that load. So unless we see a big injury, I don't see a lot of snaps being taken.
Yeah,
from Najee.
And I mean, Harbaugh likes a deeper running back room for sure. But
well, in his experience,
yeah,
the Ravens have never had a lot of luck with running backs. So.
Yeah, so I mean, Najee is just so slow. He is so slow.
Well, he's not going to be faster now.
No. So I mean, depth piece. That's all that is.
Right.
And I think the contract
maybe a goal line touch. I don't know.
What's that?
Maybe some goal line touches. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah. But this is nothing more than a depth piece.
Yeah.
You got a body in there, especially because Cam Scatterbo plays like his head is a brick, and he's going to miss time. You would assume.
I think that's probably the assumption, is that he's probably going to miss time.
Yeah, for sure,
almost guaranteed. Probably every season for the rest of his life.
Right.
Yeah.
And a little teaser, why do you think his quarterback misses time, but we'll get into that later. But Breece Hall will be missing some time. He got a groin injury, and he's going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks. Little groin.
I don't know if it, what impact that even has on the Jets. Like, if anything, it's probably good for Breece Hall to not have to be out there on the field suffering.
And he got his money too.
Yeah, I got his money. I hate that he plays for the Jets.
You already know he wanted to get out,
right?
But then I believe they franchise tagged him, so it's like, no, you're not going anywhere. And then
bullshit, man.
But poor Breece Hall, he was on the board for a while, for our draft, and
we're going to talk about our draft.
We will,
later.
But I think, do you remember who drafted him?
I don't.
I think it might have been Ryan.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take that risk at this point.
No, not after, especially me after last year. I had him. He wasn't a world beater, so I made sure to not.
I tried to convince you to draft him again. You were sitting next to me, and I tried to get you to draft him again, and you wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I didn't. We'll say that.
Yeah. Well, I'm starting to regret one of the guys that I drafted, Kyle Monungai, as he's got a knee injury right now and is now going to be week to week. So.
Yeah. I mean, at least that won't affect you as much.
Right.
Opposed to a Breece Hall.
We'll see, though, but because I made some mistakes in my draft, and we'll get into that, but week 7 is going to be tough for me with running backs. So,
and I think, do you play me week 7 too?
I don't know.
We'll double check when we get to that segment when we play each other and when Jared will lose. But Jordan Tyson,
Jared will lose.
Yeah.
You are something else. You know that?
This injury for Jordan Tyson is something else, because it's honestly sad. ASU star receiver coming into New Orleans and is going to have a high ceiling, and he hurts his hamstring. He's going to be out for 2 months. And that's another fantasy dwindle too. Like that's going to take a hard hit to some people's rosters. And it's just sad. And you and I have harped on this before, and we talked about this with Eagles rookie receiver, Mekhi Lemon.
Mekhi Lemon, yep.
Getting hurt like that, it's going to not only hinder your production, but hinder just the experience of getting those reps. And especially obviously they have Olave, who they've extended as well. Great wide receiver. Still, that's another good weapon for Tyler Shuck if Spencer Rattler comes into just that quarterback room overall. He was going to be a great weapon, and to be able to play alongside guys like Olave, that's tough.
Right.
That's tough.
I did just check, and we do play week 5 actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. So week 5, mark it.
Yeah, week 5. Tet is on a bye, so that's a kind of a
Let's go.
yeah. No worries there though. Next on our list, I have Egbuka. He's got turf toe. Status is unclear, and as we know, that turf toe's a bitch, man.
It is.
We
Yeah.
saw Brock Purdy and Joe Burrow get it last season, and they were out for a very long time. It is
Right.
not. It is not a pretty thing.
Right.
It's basically, if I'm remembering correctly, it's essentially like a dislocated ligament or like a torn ligament or something like that in
Yeah,
your
it is.
in your toe.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's not a pretty thing, and it's got a funny name for a not so funny injury.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because this little piggy could take you to IR.
Right.
You know, like you said, it happened with Purdy. It's happened with Burrow. Now his timeline seems a bit more promising, but again, that is something you can't gamble with,
Right.
because all the pulleys and wires in those toes with the ligaments, like it's not like you stub your finger in basketball and you can still go out there and play. Like that's a serious injury.
Right.
Now, we alluded to this one before.
Mm-hmm.
To cap off my roster shakeup is Tyler Biotish. Now, he was carted off with a leg injury in, was it the joint practice, correct?
Yes.
And what was the update you saw today?
So I saw that Tyler Biotis. So, and the initial report was that Tyler Biotis was carted off the field with a knee injury after defensive tackle Sebastian Valdez fell on him in the 49ers joint practice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the update that I saw today, if I'm not mistaken, was that they're saying now he's got an ACL injury. I don't know how severe it is, but he's going to miss some pretty serious time, and I don't think he's going to be back anytime soon.
You got a feel for the Chargers' offensive line room the past really like year up until this point. Joe Alt gets hurt, Rashad Slater gets hurt, and now your starting center gets hurt too.
Right.
And the way that Jim Harbaugh likes to run his offense, it's a very ground and pound, like win at the line of scrimmage kind of scheme. And that's just to lose your guy in the interior.
Well, and I think, this is an opportunity to take a step back and look at players like now Amarian Hampton and Justin Herbert and say, okay, how are they going to perform now in this upcoming season? Are these guys that are worth drafting? Do I want to be a little bit more cautious? There's going to be some questions that need answers now.
Right. It's kind of hard to still keep your mind in the fantasy segment of like who to look out for to draft, because we just did our draft super early. So now it's like kind of set and forget, but there are plenty of people who wisely are going to draft way later than week 1 of the preseason. So
this was the only draft actually I'm in 4 leagues, and this is the only one that drafted this early. So
yeah. Which isn't like anybody's fault.
No,
it was just like this is just how it had to be.
Yep.
But yeah.
Well, and it worked out better for me anyway, because I wouldn't have been able to schedule all those drafts.
Right.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We're going to talk about Mr. Jackson Dart. Now, we had some videos for you guys, but we're not going to be able to throw them out there this week. We just weren't able to get them set up in time.
Unless Marla's feeling a little dangerous and wants to pull them up. But no, it's like been pretty big news recently, so I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen it. But Jared, take it away.
Yeah, so Jackson Dart got demolished the other day. Big hit when they were playing the Vikings, and they immediately took him over to the blue tent. And he afterwards, in his press conference, he made a point to say that he feels like every time he ends up on the ground that he ends up at the blue tent or something along those lines. And some of the videos that we had were of the big hit, they were of his press conference, and then it was kind of a montage, and he was like, I just don't understand why I'm always in the blue tent. And maybe because you're never sliding. How about that?
Right.
Or because you're willing to take that hit. You're the franchise quarterback. You need to get down or get out of bounds, and he's just not willing to do that. I did pull a stat that says that Jackson Dart has been evaluated for concussions in 43% of his starts.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yep.
That's bad. Him and Cam Scatterby were just made for each other, weren't they? I mean, that's just like quite literally a run through the wall kind of duo for the team. And I think it's just like it's a little. I don't want to say like ignorant, but it's like, come on, like that play specifically where he got blown up.
Right.
He did not just hop right back up and like jog to the side. He was down
on the ground for a long time.
He was down. Yeah.
And that one wasn't his fault. That was right. Tyrone Tracy missed the block.
Yeah,
and I'm sure that he got his ass reamed for that afterwards.
Sure. Yeah, because that was a poor attempt at picking up the blitz.
Yeah,
but I mean, also what you said, 43% of his starts he's been monitored for a concussion.
Mm-hmm.
When you have that label around you, the officials are going to keep a closer eye on that because they know you're more susceptible to that. Think of like a guy like Tua, who could like die from another concussion or like have to retire. But when you have that history that follows you, of course you're gonna like they're gonna look at you more under a microscope with all that stuff. So I don't know. I think it was that's just a whole lot of that's a nothing burger,
right?
In terms of like you don't get it, you know, like come on. But yeah, Jackson Dart, I do like I respect his style of play. I do think it's like very reckless, but it's fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's if you're good with Jackson Dart,
I'm good with Jackson Dart. Yeah.
Let's move on to fantasy. So we did draft our league last Friday, one of our leagues. So Miles and I collectively are in 2 together, and then I'm in 2 more on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And we just kind of wanted to go through our rosters to let you guys know what we were thinking, what our thought processes were as we went through these.
Mm-hmm.
And in no particular order, we'll just go quarterback to defense and then talk about some of our bench players, if you're cool with that.
So do you want to go 1 through 16, or how did you want to do this? I'm sorry.
We'll just go quarterback to defense. We'll just go because I don't have my draft order.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you start us off then?
All right. Sweet. So at quarterback, I ended up taking Caleb Williams. I think that was probably around pick number 5, 6, somewhere in there. I don't quite remember. But, you know, Caleb's a young guy. He's got lots of upside potential and rushing upside as well. So those are things that I was thinking about, and I also feel like he's going to take a step forward this season. So
for sure.
Yeah.
And you took him in front of me, I believe, because I think this had to have been you had to have drafted him in round 6 or something, because in round 7 I got Joe Burrow, and at that point, and I think that's still really good value if he can stay healthy. But I did not
made that mistake last year.
I did not want Joe Burrow. I wanted a Dak Prescott or a Caleb Williams because of those more like they stay healthier and they still have a lot of upside, but they got sniped right in front of me. So thanks, Jared. But
well, I heard you talking about Dak, and I think you were more upset about that. You're kind of a Dak Prescott lover.
I like Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I know.
I do like Dak Prescott. And Tate had him last year, and of course that slimy bitch takes him again. But you know, he was putting up some numbers, and their offense was so elite last year too.
Right.
So you got CD and Pickens out there. Like it's a juicy little prospect there, but he's not mine. So.
All right. Well, next on my list, I'm just going to go both my running backs because I took them back to back, actually. James Cook and Amarian Hampton. So James Cook was my number 1 pick. I was drafting 10th, I believe.
Yeah.
And you were 7th.
I was 7th again. Yeah.
So I took James Cook, and then right after that, Amarian Hampton. Obviously, with the Chargers center being injured, that's a little bit of a concern for me, but I still think Amarian Hampton is a good running back. I think that Jim Harbaugh is going to utilize him well. Obviously, his scheme is very run friendly. So
yeah. Sorry about that. My first 2 picks were like we said, I picked 7th, so right in the middle pretty much. And Jamar Chase fell to me at 7, so I was kind of like, gotta do that. And then I did something.
Pair him up with Joe Burrow.
Yeah, which wasn't the plan, but that's how it worked out. And then round 2, I did something a little crazy because I wasn't expecting to do this. I didn't really want to draft this guy, but Brock Bowers got taken off the board, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it.
I knew you were going to do this.
Fuck it. And it was Ryan who took Bowers. I had a couple of beers in me, and he was like, take McBride, bro. And I'm like, okay. And
we all knew that Ryan was going to take Josh Allen and Brock Bowers.
Yeah, of course.
We all knew it, and we called it. We told him straight to his face. He was like, no.
Yeah.
Like,
and he fucking
dude,
did it.
We all know that you're going to take them.
He even took McCaffrey again. He's got like the same exact lineup as last year. But yeah, so I was not expecting to do that, but I did it. And we'll see how it works out for me.
I'm proud of you, Miles.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you for sticking to your guns.
Yeah. So you had James Cook, Amari, and Hampton 1 and 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Then I had, for both my wide receivers, I had Zay Flowers and Tedero McMillan. I thought that McMillan had a great season last year. He performed really well. Zay Flowers just got the big contract. He's still playing with Lamar. So I think that those are both 2 really solid picks.
For sure. Yeah. And I was kind of on the fence with getting Zay Flowers kind of in this area of the draft. But I needed to go running back, and I actually drafted 3 in a row. So round 3, I got, excuse me, getting emotional, Kyron Williams. Round 4, I got DeAndre Swift. Round 5, which I'm sorry I hurt your feelings with this, I sniped Bucky Irving from you.
I was actually really upset. So I actually wasn't going to take Caleb until Miles took Bucky Irving off the board.
Yeah, I forced your hand a little bit.
Yeah, I was super upset about this.
Yeah.
And then I went on to take Tutton from Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Still a little bit nervous about that. They got Rodriguez over there in that running back room as well. So we're going to see how many touches he gets. But he's currently sitting in my flex spot. I just felt like I needed a strong running back presence. He's a small guy, but he's a powerhouse, and I think he's going to get a lot of goal line carries. And then at tight end, I took Harold Fannin Jr. So I took a little bit of a risk there with the Cleveland tight end, but I'm not sure it's really going to matter who's throwing to him. I think he's going to get a lot of targets. He's a young guy, and I'm sure he's going to see the red zone a couple times this season. So.
I'd bet on that too, for sure. Where are we at? After Bucky, the wide receivers were a bit slim pickings at this point. And like one of the mock drafts we did a long time ago, I took Devontae Adams purely just for, and this, it became elevated because if Puka Nacua does get suspended, he's going to be highlighted a lot during that early portion of the season. And then outside of that, even when Puka's in there, he's a good red zone guy. So I think he's going to be a bit of a revolving door kind of player as the season goes. But I wasn't mad at that.
Who'd you get at kicker and defense, Miles?
Kicker and defense, I got the Rams defense.
Oh, you jumped early?
I did. That was in round 11.
Were you the first defense off the board?
I don't think so. I really don't remember. Maybe somebody took Seattle's defense.
No, because Seattle's defense was still there when I picked, and I was.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I.
Oh, you know what? Somebody took Houston's defense.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was like, I remember seeing that and being like, what?
Yeah.
What is the thought process here?
So I did reach for the Rams defense round 11, and then kicker, I got Brandon Aubrey, in round 13. I was kind of like, you know what? Screw it. Like we're going balls to the wall.
Reach for both.
Yeah.
I think a couple rounds later, I think rounds 13 and 14 are where I took kicker and defense, and I ended up snagging the Patriots defense. I think that's
not shabby.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. They were pretty good last year, but their schedule was also a lot easier, so it's going to be a little bit bigger test this season. And then I got Jason Myers. So I tried to get Eddie Pinheiro, and Tate sniped him from me, right?
Yeah.
Right at the last second, so right in front of me.
And I can't believe you didn't want to go Jake Moody after that.
Yeah, right. Jake,
go back
Moody,
to your old
sure.
roots.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just gonna run through my bench real quick, and
go for it.
I'll let you know, or I'll let you go. So after that, I took Dejon Stribling. I wanted to take a little bit of a risk too with a rookie, get someone, potential sleeper in there. I think that he had a really good preseason showing. He's having a really good camp. Big, fast target that the Niners haven't really had in a long time, and so I'm excited to see what he's going to do. Then, like I alluded to earlier, Kyle Monungai, I felt like I needed another running back. So here's the mistake that I made was that James Cook, Amarian Hampton, and Tutton are all
Same bye week.
same bye week, week 7, and I did not mean to do that, and I just wasn't paying attention, and I screwed myself there. I'm normally pretty good about keeping an eye on that, but I just. The beers were flowing.
Yeah.
We
You
were
get
talking
the vibes.
shit.
Yeah,
The vibes were good. So, normally when I do my drafts, I'm sitting at home and,
yeah.
and then I took Khalil Shakir. Shakir's been one of Josh Allen's most reliable targets and most consistent for a while. Obviously, they have added a couple new faces over there in the wide receiver room this season, but I still think that Shakir is going to get his fair share. Then I had Tajay Spears. I felt like I needed another running back. Xavier Worthy. He's a strong candidate for the number 1 spot over there in Kansas City, especially with Rashid Rice being out. So we'll see. He could have a really big season, especially if Patrick Mahomes is going to play.
Good deep threat guy too.
And then these last 2, I felt I had to take a couple risks here. So late in like round 15, because we had 16. Was there 16 rounds?
Yeah.
So late in round 15, there wasn't a lot left that's available, right? And this guy was still hanging around, and it was Mark Andrews. Now, I felt like in round 15, this felt like pretty good value, right?
Yeah.
If he ends up having a resurgence or a comeback season, this could be big. If not, I'll drop him. No harm, no foul, and there'll be someone else waiting for me. The other guy that I took with my very last pick, my 16th pick, was Tyreek Hill. Now, if Tyreek Hill ends up getting on a team, I think that he maybe is probably going to start on the PUP list just to start the season.
Right.
He had a pretty gruesome injury last season, and again, he's not even on a team right now. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. That doesn't mean that things can't change, but I wanted to take a risk on somebody, and I figure it doesn't hurt. If I need to drop somebody, I'll drop him.
Right. Yeah. And I was going to ask how long is the leash with Tyreek Hill in terms of you keeping him on the roster?
I would say it just depends. It just depends on what I need and what my needs are. But I think if he's not on a team by week 6, I'd drop him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And that would be the longest I would wait.
Right.
So
yeah, because I do kind of see him as like a mid-season signing.
Yeah.
Of somebody's wide receiver 1 or 2 goes down, and you bring him in. But I liked
Marvin Harrison, right?
No, Michael Wilson can carry that wide receiver room. But I actually really did like that pickup because just of like, at this point in the draft, it's all low risk, high reward, where if you drop somebody, it's like you're not going to lose any sleep over it.
Right.
Unless you're me last year and you dropped Michael Wilson. But that's, we live to see another day. To go through my bench, I got Alec Pierce in round 8. And I know that he's dealing with a bit of an injury right now. He should be ready to go week 1. And up until Keenan Allen signed there, obviously he's still wide receiver 1, but he was the big dog in that room and got the extension. So I was looking out for him and Romeo Doubs a lot during this portion of the draft, and I'm just glad I was able to snag one of them. At number 9, I took Rachaad White out in Washington. Now, I think the running back room is a little up in the air, and at this point, too, with the running backs, you kind of just had to think about, like, who's backing up who, and what does that starter look like health-wise, or what does this backup look like in the red zone if he's getting goal line touches. So that was a very, like, just up in the air running back room, and maybe somebody gets hurt, and he could get slotted in there. And that's very apparent for Tyrone Tracy, who I took in the 10th round because he's playing behind Cam Scadaboo. And I was kind of picking Key's brain at this point on that because he was talking shit about Cam Scadaboo all night. And he was like, you guys can have him. Take all the Giants players. And I was like, what do you think about Tyrone Tracy in that room? And he was like, from what I've seen and heard, it's like a split room. That's a 50-50 load. And I was like, fuck it. Okay, I'll go for it. Um,
I don't know though. If Tyrone Tracy can't block,
that's true.
might not get a lot of snaps.
No, because we all no block, no rock.
Right.
So get your ass in that pocket and protect your boy. Round 12, I took Tank Bigsby. Same thing. If Saquon goes down, what's that going to look like? You know, and I went very running back heavy in this draft, more than I thought. But that was your influence, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, I tried to make a couple trades. With
Yeah,
you, and
you're already throwing stuff out.
Yeah, you wouldn't make any trades with me earlier this week.
Well, speaking of trades, I did throw this guy out to you yesterday, Jerry Jeudy, in the 14th round. He had a respectable season. I think like 600 receiving yards last year. And same thing you said with like Harold Fannin. I think whoever's back there, he can still get enough production to potentially hold his spot on my bench. Round 15, I got Jalen Naylor. Naylor, what's his first name again?
Jaden Naylor.
Jaden Naylor.
Jalen
Naylor. Jordy Naylor. I
don't think it's Jordy.
I'm sorry, Jay Naylor. But he's playing with Las Vegas, so I don't really have much to say about that. And then round 16, I wanted one more tight end, and I got Dalton Schultz. So again, not much to say there. I think, didn't you say to me Jalen Naylor? Okay. Didn't you say to me about Dalton Schultz that you had him last year and he didn't do jack squat?
Yeah. I in like one league for like a couple weeks, and I dropped him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but I wanted
made sure to pick him up.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
because
good move for you.
I learned from your mistakes, and he's going to have an explosive season this year. Him and McBride are going to be tight end 1 and 2, and I'm going to control that market. But
control it.
Yeah, I've had a lot of voice cracks today.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes I like feel my heart drop because I'm like, is he going to call this one out?
I was going to call out the first one, but I thought I'd give you 5 or 6 more before.
Yeah, and I filled that quota pretty quick. But yeah, that is our fantasy segment. So
well, actually, it's not. So last night we talked about our dynasty our dynasty rules, and this was pretty interesting. There were only 5 out of like 8 of us actually showed up.
And I was one of the 3 that didn't show up.
Miles did not show up, and they would not let me vote for you. So I told them, I was like, "But he said that I could, guys. Come on." Yeah, they wouldn't let me do it. I tried my best, but I still feel pretty good about how all the rules shook out. This is all of our first time doing Dynasty, and so actually we're actually going to do 2 drafts in this starting season. We're going to do a vet draft, so that we can get our actual franchises like set up and ready to go. And then we are going to do a supplemental draft the next night to start to fill all of our taxi spots.
Right. So, yeah. So how did they phrase it? Like the vet draft and the rookie draft, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm excited for this league for sure, especially with how the roster looks.
I think we got 10 bench spots, 2 flexes, a super flex on top of that.
Yeah. How many IR spots?
2 or 3. Yeah, okay. 2 or 3. And then 5 taxi spots. So do you know what a taxi spot is?
I was actually I did not know when I was reading that text. So
yeah, so a taxi spot is a roster space. It's essentially like your practice squad. Or like a red shirt space. So it's for rookies that you know are not going to play. And you can elevate them from that. I'm sure you have to drop one of your bench players, right, to be able to do that. But as soon as you elevate them, they can't go back.
Interesting.
So as soon as you take them, as soon as you unredshirt them, they cannot go back to being redshirted.
Got you.
That's what the taxi is.
Okay, that's good to know.
And one of the things that we discussed was not knowing if our supplemental draft automatically goes to the taxi squad. We're not sure. So we're going to have to figure that out.
Okay. Yeah. And I was looking on Sleeper last night. The trade during draft night is enabled, so you are able to do that, which I was happy to see.
Yeah,
so,
we wanted to make sure that we did that.
Yeah. But this is going to be fun.
Yeah, it is.
We're going to stick with these teams for a while.
And the scoring rules are I felt pretty good about them coming out. There's lots of bonuses that we can get along the way. And yeah, I was excited to see everybody so hyped
Right.
for the season. So it's hard to find leagues where everybody is really invested.
Right.
And I think that with our little 8-man league, I'm excited to see where it goes. It also, because we're doing an 8-man league, only 4 teams are making the playoffs. And I do believe that we are also going to do a toilet bowl. There were some other conversations around whether or not we should do a super flex, but we felt like there were going to be too many quarterbacks sitting around with only 8 people. And so, yeah, I'm pretty excited.
And for the toilet bowl, that would be the winner of that game gets the first overall pick.
Yes, so that's the other. Well, actually, they were saying the loser of that game gets the first overall pick. So it kind of incentivizes tanking.
Yeah, it does
in that game, and which I was trying to explain, but I don't think that there was, and I don't think that they were understanding what I was trying to say. But
or maybe they just didn't care.
Yeah, maybe that too. But we'll have to see what happens there. But it is gonna go. The draft order is gonna go for the supplemental drafts. It'll go in order of your record from the previous season.
Yeah.
And instead of snaking, it's going to just go back to the top.
Okay.
So
yeah.
And that was one of the things that I pushed for, because everyone was initially talking about doing a snake, and one of the things that I brought up was, okay, well, if I trade for the number 2 for Miles' number 2 pick, why would I want to be all the way back down to the bottom? I want that to be the 7th pick, right, in that draft every single round.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to know where you're going to be standing in that round. Otherwise, it's not really fair to trade the picks like that.
Right.
So, and I believe we could trade picks up to 3 years in advance.
Up to 3 years. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So after this upcoming draft, we should be able to trade 2029 picks.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. And then how many rounds is the veteran draft?
28, I think.
Okay.
It's big.
Okay.
It's big because it's quarterback, wide receiver,
you have a lot of spots
running
to fill.
running back, flex, super flex, defense, kicker.
10 bench spots.
And then it's actually 12 bench spots.
Okay.
So 22. Am I missing? It must be 22 rounds.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's big. Big.
This is good to know. I will trade you.
Miles is going to trade me his 22nd pick for whatever my first round pick is.
I'll trade you my 22nd pick this year in 2027 and 2028 for your first round pick.
Okay. So future drafts, there's only 5 rounds, by the way.
Okay. Well, the offer still stands for this year. I'll give you. I'll add my 21st pick too. Just
you want my second round pick next year? Is that what you're saying? You're giving me you're going to give me your second round pick next year?
No, I'm going to give you my 22nd round pick this year for your first round pick. I'll throw the 21st round pick in there too for the sweetener.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so generous of you, Miles.
And I'll just give you Jerry Judy.
Wow,
from my fantasy.
From the other league that's not even.
We're crossing over here.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know you could cross streams like that. These are different platforms as well.
They are, yeah. But do you think? Could you imagine if
I feel like this isn't going to be fantasy football related.
No, it is. Do you think Ryan is the commissioner now for our other fantasy league, and do you think he would be upset if I was kind of dude, Jared, I'll trade you a first round pick in this dynasty league if you give me James Cook or something?
I think he would be a little bit upset.
Everyone, and we do have the option to vote off trades, but everybody would vote that trade off. It's guys, no, please, there's context.
Jerry Judy for James Cook.
Yeah, but it's no, you have to think about our dynasty draft. This makes sense.
Miles, I would never hook you up like that. I would never hook you up like that.
Why?
Because I want to see you lose in all leagues. I would make you fair trades. I'd make you fair trades within our leagues, though.
Yeah, and we've cooked up some fair trades.
Yeah.
Did we actually trade something last year?
I don't think that we did.
Okay.
I don't think that we did. But I would never just give you a league like that.
Well, clearly you wouldn't do the same for me as I would do for you.
Listen, that first pick is a risk. It could not pan out your first round.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless it's this year's first round, I don't want it.
Okay. we should move on to game
Miles?
predictions.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. We'll continue this off camera. All right. Yeah. Let's move on to our game predictions. So, last week I went 4-11-1, and Miles, you went 7-8-1. Is that correct? Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we did pretty bad.
We did pretty bad.
I did much worse. But preseason's hard. You never know what you're gonna get, right? There some teams are starting all their, like, the Titans started all of their starters. The Niners started all their third stringers.
Right. So
yeah, you don't know what's gonna happen there.
yeah.
But oh well, whatever. Yeah. Well, let's get into this week's predictions. So
we got 16 more games coming up. So
yes, we do. So Thursday night, it's the Raiders at the Texans. Miles, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna go the Raiders. Fernando Mendoza is going to
Me too, man.
have his way with
Mendoza,
that
baby.
Texans.
All right, Niners, Chargers.
Chargers.
You're a real son of a bitch, Miles. All right, I'm taking the Niners. You gotta be a homer, right?
A little bit,
tell
yeah.
me we're not gonna get all the way to the bottom of this, and you're gonna pick the Cardinal. You're gonna pick the Cowboys.
You don't know that.
I do. I do know. All right, Friday night, Jets at Steelers.
I'll go Steel City.
Yeah, me too. Drew Aller looked
Drew Aller
pretty
looked really good,
dude.
yeah.
Panthers, Jaguars.
I'll go Jags.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Panthers. All right, Packers at Broncos.
I'll go Packers. Broncos kind of mollywopped the.
Yeah.
Who did they play last
I
week?
think I'm gonna take the Broncos. You're taking the Packers.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Saturday, Giants at Dolphins.
Giants at Dolphins. I'll go Dolphins.
Really, I'm taking the G-men. Commanders at Lions.
Let's go Commanders.
That's crazy. I'm going Lions.
No, their offense looked atrocious last week.
Yeah, it's all right. It's an opportunity. Ravens at Vikings.
Ravens. I think they're going to continue this little. Are they still on that preseason win streak? Because I think when John Harbaugh was there, they never lost a preseason game, and then they won last week
That's
too.
a good thing that counts for so much.
I know it does.
All right, Bills at Browns.
Bills.
You don't think Shador Sanders is going to come out and kick some ass with Harold Fannin?
No. They looked pretty discombobulated at times last week.
I'm taking the Browns.
Okay.
I'm going to run it.
Okay.
Falcons at Colts.
Colts. I think we both took the Falcons last week, and that did not look pretty.
All right.
Looked pretty bad.
Saints Rams.
You know what? I'll go Saints.
I was kind of thinking about the Saints too, but I think I'm going to take the Rams. Bears Bengals.
Bears.
I'm taking the Bears too. Eagles Patriots.
Patriots.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Pats. Chiefs Bucks.
Chiefs.
They screwed me last week. I'm taking the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going to screw me this week.
Yeah, as they do.
Cowboys at Pile of Dog Shit.
Pile of dog shit.
Classic.
That's the Cardinals, by the way, if you guys don't know. But no, they're a palace of gold in my heart.
And finally, Seahawks at Titans.
You know what? I'll go Titans.
Okay, taking the Hawks. All right, and for our final segment, Miles, did we get any fourth quarter questions of the week?
Not that the ones that we submitted were the only ones. Where I submitted, Miles, will you marry me? And you said, what did you submit? Why isn't Miles married yet?
And I said, why isn't Miles wifed up yet?
Yeah. Casey, what's the verdict on that?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Somebody put a ring on it, okay?
Yeah. Yeah. I would like to get proposed to.
Yeah, I bet you would.
Yeah.
They can take a page out of my book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Santa
Cruz has some nice beaches, huh, Marla?
Very nice.
Yeah, Santa Cruz is pretty cool. I have a question. because Casey and I got into a little debacle during our fantasy draft night because
about you getting married.
No, about
Beaches of Santa Cruz.
No, we talked about that later. Because I told her I was doing the draft that night, and I was like, I sent her a screenshot of like the top 12 projected first round players, and she and I was kind of like, oh, you can like tell me who you think I should pick, and she sent me CD, James Cook, and JSN, and at that point I didn't know like the picks that we were gonna have, obviously, and so
You were the last one to draw your pick.
I was, yeah. So pick 7 was waiting for me, and so
Destiny.
And I couldn't have taken. I'm trying to. JSN was not on the board. I didn't want to reach for James Cook, and I can't remember if CD Lamb was taken ahead of that or not. So I was just kind of like,
you could have taken James Cook.
I could have, but I didn't want to because Jamar Chase was there. And then I talked to her later that night, and she was like, "So did you take who I said?" And I was like, "No," and she got a little upset at me. But I had a question since
as she should.
Since fiance and fianso were here.
Fiance and fianso.
Marla, would you be upset if you gave Jared somebody who you want him to pick in the first round of a fantasy draft and Jared did not take him?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure that like
right.
This isn't.
So you are
that's true.
Long miles.
Yeah. Have you had any influence in a draft with Jared before?
I've never been invited to influence his draft.
Wow. Jared. That's messed up, man.
I'd probably just be like, "Hey, Marla, tell me to pick this person."
Yeah.
And then she would tell me. And then we don't have to worry about.
But what if that's not what she wants?
It is. It is what she wants.
Jared is a particular man. I'm gonna just let him do his
Marla wants me to win.
Yeah.
Right? Is that
I do want you to win because I want to reap the benefits of whatever spoils you get from winning.
Yeah, you know what? And Casey said the same exact thing to me. I was like, listen, like, I'm trying to win here. And she's like, you better use at least 50% of that money on me if you win.
Well, the other thing is, too, is that, because Marla and I live here together, whenever things don't go well in either fantasy or if the 49ers lose or, something along those lines,
I have to deal with it.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like a pretty temperate person, but I just get sad. I just get sad and I get kind of bummed out and quiet. And Marla does have to deal with the ramifications.
Yeah, she'll bring you the Kleenex and
what am I like when one of my teams loses, babe?
Grouchy and quiet, and you just like, hey, I'm gonna go game. I'll see you in the morning.
I need this time alone.
Yeah, I just gotta clear my head. That's all.
No, I think that's pretty standard. Like well, actually, I don't know because I'm pretty numb to it at this point. But do you get mad watching the game?
Yes.
Not in like a punch the wall, like you're aggressive, like scary mad, but like are you like a screamer or
not a screamer, but I'll yell at the TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll yell at the TV. You have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have
to. You're in on
not
it.
like a screamer. I wouldn't say that.
He sits there real grouchy, eyebrows furrowed, eyes focused.
Yeah.
I'm locked in. That's all.
It depends on where I'm at, but I am a screamer.
You are. I could see it.
Yeah,
I can see it.
It's mainly more of like when the Cardinals
Casey, look out.
Yeah, Casey, this is fair warning. It's mainly more of like screaming out of excitement, but the anger is more like a fuck. Like maybe I'll throw my hat on the ground or something, but if there's like a big first down conversion or a big turnover and I'm like
I don't think I've ever seen you upset.
You've actually, I was thinking about this the other day. You and I have only watched one Cardinal game together. And it was when we were working at the same job, and they played the Chargers on Monday Night Football. And obviously I can't scream there, but I remember like final
I was probably
drive.
teasing you the whole time.
Oh yeah, you were.
Yeah.
I remember final drive, like they went down and kicked the game-winning field goal, but the screen pass, and I was like, oh my god, go! And I was like, normally I'd be yelling.
I feel like I probably missed that. I was probably closing up the pool or something like that. I was probably letting you do your thing.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I probably
Let me
missed.
have my moment.
Yeah, I probably missed that one. But yeah, I think that's.
Yeah, I just want to get that side tangent in there, but
Yeah,
that's it
appreciate
for the
that.
show today.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, I think we're all ready to wrap up here, folks. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. I want to give a big shout out to my beautiful fiance behind the camera, Marla on the mic,
Yes.
Mrs. Young broadcaster.
Shout out.
Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and we'll see you next week.